Hey guys, welcome back to my garden. So today we're going to be trimming back some mums, trying to get more blooms. And these are just some of the ones that we planted. Like we're going to be focusing on this white one first to the right. And it looks so cloudy and fluffy. Here's how it looked after I decided to deadhead it. Okay, we're going to deadhead it so we can get some more blooms. That's me and my daughter. We're taking the dead blooms off, trying to see if we can get a second fresh of blooms back. And these are store-bought mums. And if you see the bigger ones, they died out faster than the smaller ones. And look how beautiful the big ones look. So that's how it looked. And here's how it looked now. Yeah, so I took the top off, but if you look, the blooms are all the way in the bottom. And you know what's funny? I did look at some videos on YouTube to see how to deadhead the blooms, the moms, and said take the petals off. So I took the petals off, and I actually saw some people cutting theirs all the way back, and I'm like, yeah, that's a bit drastic. So I think I should have cut it all the way back. And another reason why I didn't cut it all the way back is because if you look at my previous videos where I was doing the mums, there were blooms at the very top. So I deadheaded and I was expecting the blooms to come back, but they actually dried up. They didn't bloom. They just dried up and died. The ones that were further down are the ones that actually blooming. And this, if you look, it was a white mom. Like in the picture, it was actually a white mom. And they look more purplish, pinkish, which is very pretty. I like that it changed color. But this was a very much white mom I purchased, not a pink purple mom. So I think it's very cool that the color changes. So that's me. I actually had that stick in there holding it up because they were super tall. The petals were flopping over and everything. I had cut the tree above one of the branches and it fell when we were cutting it. Yeah, we should have moved the pots out the way first, but we didn't. So it fell and it had damage. So we were just using that to prop it up so it can still stay and give its beautiful flowers. So that's pretty much what I'm doing, is cutting the top off, and let's continue. Okay, so this white mum is finished getting cut back. This is as low as I'm going to cut it. I think this should be enough. And if you notice, all the blooms are upside down. And I think what happened is because the foliage was so thick, the blooms were trying to go under to get to the light. This is just my opinion. If it's for another reason, you guys can comment and let me know, but that's just what I'm thinking. They were trying to get to the sunlight and the foliage was so thick so they weren't turned up. Now that it's cut back, hopefully they should turn right side up and start going towards the sun. But look at all the blooms. The petals are all literally turned upside down. Wow, look at that. But they're still beautiful. So I will keep you guys posted. I'll upload another video once it gets a bit more fuller. And I may have this included in my December garden tour. So stay tuned for that. So here are some of the blooms that were on the underside that I could actually capture. They're very pretty. And I'm thinking about putting them in the ground to see if they'll come back next year. I see a lot of people have theirs in the ground. I'm not sure if these are considered garden mums or not, so we'll test it and see. Look deep down in the, look at that, all the green, and they got all the buds. Look at all the buds that were coming up. Those were the same buds that we had on the very top that never opened up. Instead, they dried up. But this one, I'm liking it. Like, and look at that. I'm like, the flowers they're there. But it just looked like it was just hanging on, so I didn't cut the petals. And I'll keep you guys posted. All my videos to previous videos are always going to be in the description box, okay? Here's what it looks like. Now here goes an overview. Look at that. So it's going to get bigger. I normally just leave any clippings from leaves or whatever in the garden bed so it can actually decompose and enrich the soil. So I'm pretty much leave the clippings there. But it looks good. It looks better than how it was before, dried up. Now you can there's so much more petals there than I thought was actually there. Take a look at this picture. So I don't want to cut this one too low because I can see the buds right on the top. So I'm going to let's take a little bit off the top. But I see the buds in the bottom. Look at that. Let me show you. Let me get closer. There's quite a few buds on it. And if you look on the bottom, I think there's buds here, there. They're pretty close to the top, so I don't necessarily want to cut them off cut it too low. So we'll keep an eye on that. You see, the yellow one came back so much better. A lot of vigorous blooms. Let's take a look at the one next to it. Here go the red one there. Here goes the other yellow one here. That one came back a lot better too. So, and this is actually planted in ground. So I noticed the ones that are in ground and smaller did better than the ones in the pot. I'm gonna show you the other potted ones that were larger didn't do too well. So here go the other mums. I took them out the front because they were becoming an eyesore. So looking at these, I see fresh leaves like all the way down there. If you look closely, you see fresh leaves coming in. Look at that. And this one even has fresh bud because look, these are buds right here. This is why I didn't cut them that low, because you can see literally buds on the top and they weren't dried up when I cut them, so I thought they were going to bloom. But since they're not going to bloom, I'm going to cut them back, and I may put them in the ground as well. Alright, let's get started. Time for your haircut. See, these are green leaves. Cut off the brown leaves. There's no blooms here. I see blooms down there. you can see the fresh new leaves coming in, as well as the buds, which are further down. So I cut it lower to get to those. Alright, there they are. So all the fresh leaves are down there. But the scissors, so I'm getting my sharper tool to get to these ones, because these are a lot harder. So there go the 3 containers. I'll keep you posted if they come back to life and as fluffy as they were in the store. I doubt it, but I'm going to water them and fertilize them now.